a huge step away from what people know Resident Evil to be.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, it's tough because I know why they did it, because obviously the brand, like we're chatting about it because of the name Resident Evil. But I think if they dropped the 7 and it's been like, Resident Evil Biohazard, or kept it like on brand but got rid of number 7, because it is so different. But on the flip side, you look at Final Fantasy and they are so different game to game as well. It's more of an evolution. So they may be going down more that route.
Yeah, well, I was thinking if you got rid of the 7, people would maybe give it a bit of a snub because it would just sound like an offshoot game, not so much like part of the main series.
That's true.
But it seemed weird. Resident Evil 7 Biohazard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, you kind of make me want to play it.
You're also probably giving me nightmares tonight.
No, nice. Yeah, honestly, play it. It's really well done. I think it's one of the first games for a little while about Overwatch, which is slightly different, but it's one of the first games on PlayStation for a while. I went, wow, this looks fantastic, and this genuinely looks really good. I'm excited to see the finished package. And as I say, I mean, it's more atmospheric. There are a couple of jump scares, but generally speaking, it's more a taste of what to expect in the final version.
We might have to buddy up.
Play it together in broad daylight.
Yeah, outside.
You realise that I played Outlast for all of 5 minutes before I deemed it far too much for me.
Nice.
Richard, have you ever played Oxenfree?
I have not, no. I've never played it.
See, I played through that a couple weeks ago, and that was the absolute limit. Like, there were no jump scares, but it was, creepy enough that it was, kind of nerve-wracking for me.
What
is that game again?
It's like a point-and-click adventure game, sort of like Until Dawn, but I guess it's very dialogue-based.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just got a really eerie vibe. It's a cool game, though.
Nice. Let's not forget that you almost didn't play BioShock.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I'm really bad. I gotta get... I'm a goddamn adult.
I can't imagine playing any horror game in VR. I probably never will.
No, definitely not. No.
I will die in that if that happens.
Yeah, no, I couldn't do that either.
I saw someone on Twitter saying we should, as the gaming industry as a whole, should agree that spiders are not allowed in VR.
That'd be amazing. Yeah, that is.
People are going to capitalize on that.
Oh,
yeah.
It's terrible.
Spiders and clowns.
Clowns, yeah. I'm not a huge fan of clowns.
I can handle clowns. I just don't need a 2-foot, 20-foot spider in my life.
I feel like this is deja vu. The last time you were on, Richard...
Oh, we did talk a lot about Australia and spiders last time.
It's just...
Yeah.
I suppose we should get into the news. Richard, you have, of course, just come back from E3.
I have, yes.
I was thinking we could have a good long chat about that because we are insanely jealous. Maybe we whip through some news and then we'll just, you can give us, I don't know, just tell us all the best bits.
Yes, it's good. Let's do it.
All right, Govinda, you know what I need.
Time for the news we care about.
LA Noire developer Team Bondi have all but confirmed that Whore of the Orient, the Shanghai crime caper first unveiled in 2012, is no more. Upon appearing on a recent Game Hugs podcast, producer Derek Proud conceded that it's unlikely the period drama will ever see the light of day. First up, Proud outlines what could have been. Quote, well, Whore of the Orient was the spiritual successor to LA Noire. We're going to use that tech and we were going to create a game set in the 1930s or 40s of Shanghai. Shanghai was the only place in the world you could go to in the 30s if you didn't have a passport. So everybody who was running from something went to Shanghai. The whole city was run by a gangster called Big-Eared Do, and it's just the most fascinating time, place, and setting. End quote. At this point, the producer was quizzed on whether we'll ever see Whore of the Orient, possibly via another studio. Said he, I don't think so. That was one of the games and one of the studios I kind of left right at the bitter end, when we got wrapped up. Have you heard about this game, Richard?
It rings a bell, but I'll be honest with you, I can't really remember anything about it other than you just said right there. So no, not really.
It was I guess it was 2012.
I have no recollection of it at all.
It was, remember LA Noire?
Yeah.
People were I was personally disappointed, but a lot of people were pretty hot on it.
Well, I enjoyed it enough. I thought the ending was a bit disappointing, but...
I don't think I even got that far.
I thought the gimmick of like the being able to read people's faces in an interview just really didn't pan out.
Yep.
Because I found it insanely difficult to know what they were saying or thinking.
I think there was a big hullabaloo about it because of its name. Of course, it was like a highly sexist thing at the time. A lot of people were talking about it. Interesting though. That was they're a Australian studio, Team Bondi, and I guess we'll never really see or hear from them. Maybe we will. I don't know. This is what they were supposedly working on all this time.
Oh, okay. No, yeah, it's interesting. I don't know. Maybe they've started something else already, or maybe they'll just get shut down like everyone else seems to be.
And were they published by Rockstar?
Yeah.
Yeah,
they were. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I got not much to say on it. Like, I don't even know what the game is.
I think I caught the name and I was like, I remember everyone being really excited about that, but
I don't even remember them announcing it.
Yeah, fair enough.
But I'd be interested to see if they could do something else, like LA Noire, and maybe refine it a little bit.
Yeah, I'd give it another go.
Because I had a good time. The ending was like a "are you kidding me" situation for me.
Are we allowed to spoil a game that old?
Nah, let's just move. Let's move on.
All right.
We're going to move on from the disappointment.
Moving right along. Commander Shepard may be a difficult act to follow, but that's the onus that has been placed on Ryder, the female protagonist of Mass Effect Andromeda. Featured all across the E3 trailers and promotional material, in a recent interview with Eurogamer, BioWare boss Aaron Flynn reflected on the studio's decision to spotlight its female lead first, and why it's time to move on from the Shepard era. Quote, when we debuted Male Shepard back in 2006, it was a time when we drew inspiration from traditional entertainment marketing. So we need an iconic main character. We need an iconic everything else. But I think the whole industry, us included, have moved beyond that. Our game lets you choose your main character. I think everyone gets that nowadays. You don't need to see a character to identify with, in the same way you might on a movie poster. People want to create their own characters, customize them, and we're embracing that. End quote. I thought, Richard, how do you feel about that? Brutal you play as preset characters, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah, I mean, I think what they're doing makes sense. I mean, in Brutal, we've got, 4 characters. We've got Ranger, Amazon, Mage, and Warrior. So they are preset, but you do choose them. But no, I think it's great. I think if they can do that, obviously they've got the team size and the budget to go ahead and let you basically make your own character, and I think it makes sense. I also think from a marketing point of view, you look at what Fallout 4 did for their character creator, where you could make some amazing characters or some of the worst characters in the world, but it's something to share, right? It makes your game or your character. So no, I think it makes sense. Sounds cool. Why not?
Yeah, I actually usually play as a lady. And Govinda kind of gives me a bit of grief about that.
Do you think because now that the lady is in the forefront that you'll choose a man this time?
Yeah, I really am a hipster like that.
You're a bit of a non-con, I like to call you.
Govinda gives me shit because I don't watch Game of Thrones, Richard.
I give him shit because he watched all of Game of Thrones and then one day just went, nah. It was like, you've dedicated like 8 years of your life, including the books and the show, to this.
I'm done.
You've just given up.
I'm ready to just read a review now. I just want to know what happens, and that's enough.
It's great this season.
That's what I was saying. Wait,
last season wasn't. They lost me last season.
But they needed the last season lull to bring you back with this season.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
They needed the setup.
I was talking to someone the other day. I think when we get to the last season, I might catch up, and that'll be when I jump back in.
No,
okay, yeah, just kind of binge watch it.
Yeah.
It's a better way to do it.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense. No, it definitely is, yeah. Definitely is.
I'll have a good binge watch.
That's why I like Netflix so much, is I can just watch an entire season in one sitting.
Exactly, yeah.
And then feel sorry for myself afterwards.
Richard, have you ever seen Peep Show?
Yeah, definitely.
I just watched every episode of that in like the last 2 weeks.
It's good, it's funny.
Yeah, I'm trying to sell Govinda on it.
It's pretty good, pretty funny.
In case you didn't know, Battlefield 1 will feature, for the first time in the franchise's history, dynamic weather. Now, we're not talking about each multiplayer map having different weather effects, but rather The weather for each map is random. It can be a normal sunny day in one match and then have heavy fog in the same map the next time you play. Not only is this something new to the Battlefield franchise, but it could and will affect gameplay when it comes to multiplayer battles. That certainly sounds interesting. Hopefully snipers will actually go after the objectives if and when heavy fog rolls in. Well, we can only hope, right? Lead level designer Dan Berlin had this to say when asked about the dynamic weather system. Quote, "It's dynamic, so you don't know what you're going to get. It's not always going to be rain or fog. You can play a map and the first time you'll play it, it's all sunny, and the next time you play it, it'll start with rain and then become foggy. You don't know what to expect. What we wanted to do with that, we wanted to push players to change their playstyle and adapt to the battlefield. This makes it feel dynamic. Snipers that have really long engagement ranges, when the fog rolls in, they can't be that effective anymore, so they have to switch to the pistol or the hatchet, and it kind of creates a close quarter sphere all around the map. It changes up the pacing, so that's been the main approach with the weather." End quote. Did you get to play Battlefield, Richard?
No, I honestly played about 3 games at E3. It was that busy. So I didn't get to play it, sadly. But this sounds great, though.
Oh.
So from a dev point of view, I love day and night cycles, and I love weather systems. So this sounds fantastic. And I think one of the big complaints with all shooter games, or most shooter games, is campers and sort of tactics like that. And this sounds great. I've gone from interested in this game to I'm ready to play this game tomorrow. Let's go.
We're with you. I never thought I'd be this pumped for a Battlefield game. Yeah. I'd sort of just lumped it in with Call of Duty and wasn't too interested.
They're just doing something different finally, which is nice in the
great.
first-person shooter genre.
Yeah. God, I'm so excited for it.
We'll have to get you on our PSN friend list, and we can party up.
Sounds great. Yeah, I mean, the lag will be awful, Scotland to Australia, but let's do it.
Oh yeah, especially without internet. That's true.
How do you feel about the French being paid DLC?
I didn't know that. It's very French, isn't it? Sorry to anyone who's French.
I'm
really?
a half Frenchy, so.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm guessing you'll play as, I guess, Americans and the United Kingdom.
Yeah, Britain is a team. Britain and Germans and I don't know who else. Maybe Russians. I think there's 4 all up.
Yeah, it's interesting. You would have thought the French did the majority of the dying.
Well, maybe they need someone to actually fight a little bit.
Yeah. Oh.
This is getting dicey.
It's all right. He's half. Yeah. He's half French.
I'm a half Frenchy, so I can say stuff like that.
Yeah, so am I.
Oh. How you doing?
Not at all, by the way. I just said that to cover my own ass.
No, I actually am. So I actually find that really offensive.
All right. All right, moving right along. This one's pretty interesting. When Microsoft first began thinking about creating the first Xbox, they met with Sony and Nintendo to discuss a partnership, but were both turned down, Xbox co-creator Ed Fries has revealed. In the latest episode of IGN Unfiltered, Fries was asked if the rumors about Microsoft attempting to buy Nintendo were true. While he says at the end of the interview that if anyone thought about buying Nintendo, he had never heard of it, his earlier comment reveals their attempts to reach out to Sony and Nintendo. Quote, "When we first started thinking about doing Xbox, we met with Nintendo and we sat down with Satoru Iwata and others, and we said, this is what we want to do. Could we do it? Could we partner? Could we work together on this? And basically, they said no." End quote. Fry says Microsoft offered to do the software and networking while Nintendo would do the hardware, but they said no. After Nintendo, Fry says Bill Gates met with Sony to discuss a partnership, only to receive the same answer. Quote, "Then Bill met with Sony, same deal. Can we work together? Can we partner? They said no." End quote. What do you think about that?
So they wanted to get in and just be they'd work on the PlayStation?
They didn't want to do hardware.
Okay.
They just wanted to make software.
Oh, they should have partnered.
But have Nintendo do the hardware?
Oh, no, not with...
Yeah, I was thinking that as well.
On the PS podcast, they should have partnered with Sony. Because Sony's network could definitely use with a touch of Microsoft, I think.
Oh. I don't know. I like the competition now. Could you imagine how different things would be?
Oh, yeah. It would be a monopoly by the end of this generation, I think. Because Nintendo is not looking too pretty.
Yeah, no, I'm the same as you. I'm glad it didn't happen because I think if you look at PlayStation at the early PS3 days and how well Xbox was doing, and now the dramatic swing and how different it is, I think if that wasn't there, I don't know where it would be. So I like the fact that there's a competition and it's kind of